Welcome to Owari No Podcast.
Try number 2.
Try number 2. 17 minutes in, and Ian realized that Audacity crashed.
None of you know what we're talking about right now.
Right.
You're never going to listen to the audio.
Exactly. You'll
Our
never
first
know.
Rip and
Very first public episode here. Nothing previously. Let's just put it this way. It didn't go well. The first time we were just really awful. And then the second time we lost the audio. So now we're all recording off the same microphone.
Alright, so let's get to the topic at hand.
The topic at hand.
Owari no serif. Owari no podcast.
Owari No Podcast is the ultimate English translation of Podcast of the End.
Supreme.
It's pretty means good. Absolutely nothing. It's basically it's a combination of two things. Our nod to Blake and I's one of our favorites is Owari no Serif, or Serif at the End, which is basically vampire killing 101.
Yeah. Vampire and like demons.
Yeah, and the fact that we could not come up with another name. We're not creative people. This is just kind of how it rolls.
See, we watch anime made by creative people. We aren't creative ourselves.
Yes, we consume creative content.
Right.
Creating it, not so much.
Right.
Weebs are like black holes.
We're like
Weebs are like black holes.
They suck in everything around them.
We're like the people that like look at objects and tell you how much it's worth.
Yeah,
we can never create it.
We appraise things.
Exactly.
It's like
we know quality, but we can't create quality.
All right.
So we're gonna start off by giving a kind of a reference for who we are. So what we like. So you can connect to Blake, who's a psychopath, and watches
basically
his things like Danganronpa.
Pretty good.
Let's not spoil that again.
Danganronpa or Psycho-Pass.
Psycho-Pass is really good, though.
Psycho-Pass is...
So we'll start with Blake since you're talking already, and you've mentioned two things. What are your...
So I'm just going to go through psychological things, because I like things that really delve into the human mind and what we as people do in our nature.
And you like a show to make you think, right?
Exactly. Like, if you can think about the topic and come up with your own ideas and solve what's already going on, almost like a mystery, but not really. It's like really mind-moving things that get you to think in a new way than you're used to.
Mind-moving, huh?
Yeah,
that's a very deep.
Yeah, mind-moving, very deep. So like things like Danganronpa, that's pretty good. Death Note is pretty good. One that I was really interested in is called Kisniver.
Kisniver?
I've heard of it. It's Kisniver.
Kisniver.
Why would you say naiver? There's not two eyes there. There's one eye.
It's what it's called. I don't know.
Whatever.
I'm just telling you what it's called. I'm sorry.
Mike being flamed in the comments.
Oh yeah, all those commenters that are out there.
Never know, it gets to Reddit fast.
Yeah, but 91 Days was really good.
91 Days? What's that?
91 Days. It's a
91 Days. What's that? It's 91 days.
It's pretty good. It's like about Italian mobs. Or not Italian, but they're in the U.S.
You tell me about this all the time, and I'm always wondering what.
I say the same thing every time.
Yeah, and suddenly I'm like, oh yeah, I remember.
Because the name doesn't really fit well with what it's about, but it's good. Is this man about to sneeze?
I don't know what he's about to do.
No, my eyes watered.
All right,
okay.
So 91 Days, Alderman on the Sky. That's a new one that I really like.
What is it?
It's like a strategy, like a military type thing.
Oh yeah,
it's really good. Berserk.
Oh, I know you love Berserk. You're always talking about Berserk.
Darker Than Black.
Ooh, that was so good.
Haven't seen it.
I always forget about that one when I'm talking about some of my favorite shows.
Yep.
You didn't like the second season. That was kind of like not related almost.
I didn't. No.
I actually
couldn't get into it.
I really enjoyed it.
I think I still watched it. I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah. You didn't enjoy it as much. Right. And I see why, because it's not really like the same.
Mm-hmm. Gangsta. That was really good. gangsta, then it's just a period. It's
Because why not have various symbols in your name?
well, why not, right? So I'm
It's
saying
like that Indian movie we had at the theater that was like A.AA.
Yeah. Mirai Nikki.
No, that's a good one.
Really good.
English name of that is Future Diary.
Mm-hmm.
I started to get into that.
I never finished it. It's like on my list to go back to.
As I said, Psychopaths.
Mm-hmm.
RE:0.
Yep, that's
Really good.
That is a real popular show.
For those of you who are like RE:0, that's silly. It has a really long name. It's been basically shortened to RE:0.
Yeah.
That's how it's more commonly known as.
Isn't it still RE:0? Or I think it's pronounced RE:0. And then it's like a subtitle of something really long.
I can say it's like RE:0 Kara Hajimeru Isakai Sakatsu.
Yeah, that was Japanese, totally.
Yeah, that was very well pronounced Japanese because I speak Japanese. You can't see me, but I'm shaking my head no. Because I do not.
Do not anyway.
This Chinese anime that I found.
I've heard you say that before, and it makes no sense to me.
It's like
it's kind of like saying American anime.
Raikanzen.
It's not anime if it's not in Japan.
It's good though. It's quite the mind boggler. It's like really about how this genius guy just uses strategy and tricks to get through these obstacles that were not thought of or possibly solved in such a way. Like it was supposed to take a long time to do these, and only really masters and smart people can do it, and he just kind of blows through it in a way that no one's ever thought of.
That description gave me no information whatsoever.
I know. I don't want to spoil it. I'm just saying it's like about a
I know,
really
you're
smart
really
guy.
bad at describing things without spoiling them.
Well, that's any anime.
That's true. I don't know. I bet I can
Right.
describe, like, Steins Gate. No, I can't. It's impossible to describe.
Steins Gate's another one. It's really good. Tokyo Ghoul,
Oh, yep. Tokyo.
really good. Tokyo Ravens and Triage X. Those are also equally good. Yeah, that's really like a lot of the psychological mind type anime that I have.
Yeah. You like the probably to put it in one word, no, that'd be psychological, I guess. But in multiple words, you're the thinking guy.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
It's a real deep and expert use of English. The thinking guy.
The thinking guy. Yep.
So what are you into, Ian?
So a lot of
I take you as a you like ecchi stuff. I'll bet.
Oh yeah.
in my free time.
In my free time, when I'm alone and I have a lock on my door.
Before he goes off, those animes that I listed off aren't the only things I watch. I do have a wide variety.
Yeah,
of things.
he has. We all have a very, very wide variety.
Like-
He is just his all-time favorites tend to be in the psychological type of deal, except for Durarara. I think I pronounced it right there.
Durarara.
You watched there was another show that you told me about, and I was like, I don't remember the name, but this is what it is, and I said to you that it was a companion series to Durarara, and you were like, what? It's the one where they're on the train and all the stories converge at some point. I don't remember what the name of that was.
I know what you're talking about.
And it had a dude and a girl and a mine.
Bacano.
Yep, that one. Those two series, Bacano and Durarara,
Bacano is another good mind teaser.
Those two are from the same studio, and they're considered companion series.
Mm-hmm.
I did not watch Bacano entirely. I started it, and I was like, I pulled the Durarara, and I was like, nah. I've had enough of this weird stuff.
Yep. Alright, so that's enough of that. Let's move it on to Ian. You kind of cut him off there. So, what were you going on?
Okay. So.
As we started off, he likes ecchi.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm very big into Crunchyroll Tap Crash.
Not sponsored by Crunchyroll. I wish.
Oh, we're not sponsored by anyone, so...
We're sponsored by me.
Yeah.
What are you into? Speak, Lean.
Alright, so what I'm into very, not dramatic anime, but things that have very good musical scores. So that would be anime like my all-time personal favorite, Elfen Lied. What?
I was waiting for you to say Sword Art Online so I
No.
can say, yeah, etchy.
But yeah, SAO is another one. What other ones?
Do. That's a good show.
God, All Noah Zero. That's a great one.
Yep. I'm in progress on All Noah Zero right now.
Something that just ended is Izetta the Last Witch. That had a really good musical score to it too.
Yeah.
Other ones that I really like is like Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works. I like Naruto Shippuden.
You like you like Unlimited Blade Works?
Yeah.
I think it was Blake that said that I should just watch Zero. Fate Stay Night Zero.
I started watching Fate Stay Night and I haven't been able to find Unlimited Blade Works yet. Because Unlimited Blade Works is different from
your story's changing.
No, I thought it was the one, but no. There's Fate Stay Night, and then there's Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, which is like a remake of the first series, but then they changed a lot of things in it, from what I've seen. So I need to go and watch that, because it's supposed to be like a revamp kind of thing of it, but it was really good in the first place. Other things. Oh, and with that, there's Fate Grand Order First Order, which just came out.
Wait, are those the same thing, or is those two things?
Fate Grand Order builds off of Fate Stay Night.
Okay.
It's like on not a parallel universe, but like I don't know. It's kind of in like within the same storyline, but it's really good. The first episode, there's only one episode out right now on Crunchyroll, and it's like 70 minutes long or something. It's really good, and stuff. But
is that how you consume most of your anime, Crunchyroll?
Most of it, because that's where just a lot of releases are for stuff. And yeah.
Cool. So you like art and music, which is still art, I suppose. So you like art and music. Blake likes psychological stuff. I don't know. I can't put myself in a general category. I will watch just about anything. From
anything that's dubbed.
Anything that's dubbed. I am
Mike is the
exclusively dubbed. And except for a couple occasions where the show it looks so good and there just isn't a dub for it. Like Gate is one of those where I have to watch it subbed, but I hate my life the entire time. I will watch just about anything. Like I go anywhere from some of my top animes are Spice and Wolf, which is on one end of the spectrum. I love Darker Than Black and Tokyo Ghoul and Attack on Titan, which are like all in their completely own corners of the universe in terms of what they are. So I can't really put myself into a category as much as these guys can. Right now I'm in progress of El Noah Zero, which I'm really loving.
It's a very good one.
The music is good and the storyline in general. Also, I have a great vibe from it. I really love things that are like it's really hard to describe, but it's like there's some massive event happening and you're seeing it from
all angles.
And I love seeing it from the point of view of like the smallest person you can find, so everything just seems so chaotic and insane.
It's also a really good one if you like to think things through. That's a good one too. Like the scenarios that you get put in, the main character has to think a lot to get them out and stuff, and it's a very good anime for that and stuff. So
you can have shows sometimes, this is like kind of a gripe of mine, where they'll make you think about it and you can see that the character has to think about it and you see his process. And then there's these shows that I cannot stand that are like, nah, he just knows. That character, we've set up this huge problem, he just knows how to complete it and they're not going to explain it.
I'm sorry. I'm looking for the series that has some of the best art I've ever found. And I cannot seem to find the name of that series.
Good talk.
Yeah.
Very good.
Let's hope I find it.
That's pretty good.
So-
I found it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
What is it?
It's called the K Project.
The K Project?
Like
Mhm.
K-pop?
Like K-pop.
No.
There's a show called K. It's like K-on, where it's, it's about
K,
like
yeah.
idols.
No, it's
I've heard of
K Missing Kings, K parentheses K Project, close parentheses. It's really good. I wish there was a second season, but there wasn't. I really wish there was. They made a movie, and I watched that. And it's got some of the best art I've ever seen. It seems really new, but it's not that new. And the storyline's great. It's different than anything I've ever seen. Like, there's almost nothing like it. Like, it's really different, but supreme.
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 What are your stages of like reviews here? So you have Supreme. We know that one. What level is that on like a 10 scale?
I don't know. This is the supreme.
It's just the
Part.
Supreme. It's Supreme with like an OK symbol
Yeah.
in your hand.
It's like
It's like the
Let me
iPhone Messenger, like the Lit Fam.
Let me
thing.
point my hand at the microphone to get this point across.
yeah.
I can draw it in the audio levels.
Yeah. They'll know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good. K Project.
K Project.
You should
Probably
you
will
like
not
art, you
remember
should look
that.
at it.
So we'll move on to, we touched on it a little bit a minute ago. Sub versus dub.
Whew.
You guys both watch, as far as I know, exclusively subs.
Yeah, buddy.
I find it weird to watch something subbed first and then try to watch it in the dubbed and just be like, yeah, no, I know what you're supposed to sound like.
Well, I
and
don't
it's
know why you would do that,
off.
like some kind of insane person. It's like, let me watch half of episode 12 and sub and then finish the series in dub. Why not?
No, I'm saying like you finish a series and then you go back and rewatch it in like a dub to
Why
see
would
like
you
the
do
difference
that?
and stuff.
Just watch it all dubbed, then you'd have nothing to
No.
compare it to.
Because then you have everything right then and there.
I don't want to start a fight here, but you're wrong. I watch exclusively dubs, except for those certain occasions. I'd like to hear the main reasons why you guys focus on subs.
I don't know, just the Japanese language. It after listening to it a while, it just gets easy. Like it you. Reading the words is just becomes so fluent and stuff that like you can also understand what some of the Japanese characters are and stuff, or what the like what they're saying and stuff. You recognize general terms and stuff. I wouldn't say like I'm not gonna try to like pronounce Japanese and stuff, but it's very interesting to see that connection, to see common phrases and stuff that you used from anime to anime.
I don't know, at any time I've tried to watch a dub and then also like compare it to the sub.
Don't compare it. Here's where you guys are going wrong. You're comparing it.
How are you supposed to pick one that you like more if you don't compare? That's being ignorant.
Well, you don't
To the other
you don't
side.
compare the same shows. You don't like watch Darker Than Black in sub and then go back and try and watch it dubbed. You like
No,
you watch Darker Than Black in one and then you watch like I don't know, Tokyo Ghoul in another.
No, I mean, no, I'm saying like so you pick an anime, you listen to the sub episode 1, then you listen to the dub episode 1. You pick which one you like. You go on with it. Go to the next anime, episode 1 sub, then dub.
Okay,
Which
but
one
I'm
you like, and
but
go
I'm
on
not
with it.
talking about like choosing between them on specific shows. I mean, what made you
I know,
almost
like,
by
after,
default go with that?
After going through that process, even like a few times, I just like how the sub sounds more.
Weird.
Like, the actors,
The voice actors.
they
are
almost
more on
seem
point.
they seem less of children. Like, I don't know, the American actors for the anime, they sound younger, and like it puts it off from the more serious tone that the anime is trying to get across with some of the actors. And
I can
don't think it
see
fits.
where you could go with that. Like there's a voice actor that's common in Funimation dubs where his name is Bryce Papenbrook, I think, and he plays Kirito in the SAO dub, and he plays Eren Yeager in Attack on Titan. and like those are the biggest roles I know him in, and I really, really hate his voice.
Yeah,
But I feel like I get a better experience when I can take in all of the visuals and the audio at the same time. Well, without having to pay attention to subtitles. Like I feel like I can get more of the emotion out of the voice. Like we talked about this a long time ago. We had this joke where every Japanese actor said "Yo," which sounds super racist, but it's just
see it on the
looking
audio.
at the sound waves. It's I don't know. I feel like I just get a better experience. I also did not watch subs at all. I went immediately with the dubs. So that's probably where it is. You guys probably started with subs, with the exception of like watching Dragon Ball Z on like
Right.
Well,
The original
Adult
kid
Swim.
animes that were super popular.
Yeah.
actually, for me, I started like originally when I watched Naruto and stuff when it was coming out back when I was in like 3rd or 4th grade and
Watched it
stuff.
in dub.
When it was like so fucking good, when it came out dubbed and stuff, it was great. But then I didn't really pick up anime again until about 2014, I think, 2013, 2014, and I started actually just watching stuff on Netflix, and that was all dubbed and stuff. And that, but the biggest thing is like I got through all of SAO in the dub, and then I saw it was on Crunchyroll with
Did
the
you
sub.
do the dub first?
Yeah.
Oh.
I did
interesting.
I did the dub for did the dub for that and Attack on Titan first, and when I heard the Japanese voice actors,
I'd like to
I
pause
liked-
for a second
I liked
and point
their
out that
actors a lot
he
more.
watched the dub first for the two things I just mentioned that had the shit voice actor.
Yeah, because that's like a lot of what was on Netflix and stuff. And then when I got to Crunchyroll and other things, and I saw the subs, the voice actors just sound, it's a lot more clean. And the kids, you don't want to punch yourself in the face while you're watching it. I mean, like Kirito and stuff's already ignorant enough, but like the American voice actors put it to a whole new level.
I'm offended.
Like you can just hear like it in their voice, even if they're not trying to. You're like, that American bastard. Like you can just tell. Like it's
I want to fill my ears with concrete cement.
Concrete cement, huh? As opposed to that other cement.
I have now put rubbing alcohol in my ears, and I have a lighter.
Yeah, there's certainly. I'm not saying it's flawless. Dubs, like, you have voice actors that are just not good. But you also have that in subs, too. There's plenty of voice actors that are not
You
good.
have it, but it's not as
Because
Because-
you're not listening to it directly, you can look past it.
because on most
And we're
on
not
most big
Japanese.
animes, on like hardly on, it's almost never on big animes do they ever star people that have never worked in they haven't done voice acting before for another anime. So you have people that have already done maybe like a dozen animes
Are you talking about subs or dubs, right?
for subs and stuff. That's
Yeah,
why I think
well, I mean,
that's
they
why
do
it
that
always
in
sounds a lot
dubs, too.
cleaner. Because they've done multiple animes before, a lot more on smaller project ones and stuff, and then
Are you
they get
saying
more
are you
used to
saying
it.
that you think in dubs they just pull people off the street?
no, it's not that, but it's more of they're not anime in Western culture is not as big. Like it's a lot harder to find the right people because there aren't as many dubs as subs.
I'm triggered. I don't know where this went, but like I'm not sure why I feel the need to defend the like companies that get the rights to dubs. There's two voice actors that I really love. You don't know who they are, but I do. Todd Haberkorn and J. Michael Tatum.
Like Channing Tatum.
I knew you'd say that. I knew somebody would say that, but
I was thinking it. I was like, hey, football.
but they're really good actors. They got like a great I don't know what you guys are doing. You're tying your
I made a square knot.
made a No, obviously there's no interest in this, so go ahead. Forget my point. I don't care. What else do you guys want to talk
Channing
about?
Tatum's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, Channing Tatum and all that anime he does.
White House down.
White House down.
20
anime.
20
So in
second
other
jump
words, the Super Bowl just happened.
How was that involving anime? What's wrong with you?
Build the wall.
We're into politics and sports now. Build the wall, you say. Attack on Titan Season 2 is coming.
Owari No Podcast is now drama alert, so...
So,
welcome to New York, everyone.
we talked about, like, the types of anime that we like, and, well...
You're hitting your fucking leg with the phone.
you need to
Mike is
calm
a
down.
sound critique.
Sound critique? No one wants to hear that. Okay, what were you saying?
I was saying that we've talked about things that we like and what our personalities tend to go more towards.
Are we about to talk about stuff we don't like?
No.
Oh.
We're going to talk about things to get new people interested in.
Oh, indeed.
New anime. People, or anime for new people.
Gateway anime.
Yes. Kind of like the gateway drug, but
Yes, but
a lot less going to kill
cocaine
you.
in your
And we-
nostrils.
We
Yes.
definitely want to try to stay away from the vanilla animes that people get in. More just animes that we have found that would be very good for gateway ones that people don't talk about a lot.
That'll take people in very quickly
Mhm.
and don't have
Because
enough tropes to kick them out.
All the common ones are your Naruto, you have
Dragon Ball.
Bleach, One Piece, you have Dragon Ball Z.
You say Bleach and One Piece for gateways?
It's more gateway, like for people that watched it
mainstream.
when they were kids and stuff, and they're very mainstream animes that have been
Mhm.
around for a long time, and people are like, oh, I remember watching that as a kid, and they'll try to get back into that and stuff. Those are what I feel like gateway animes are for people, at least that watched anime when the shows were first airing, or even they're like, oh, they catch it every now and then on like Adult Swim and Toonami and stuff on Saturday nights.
Yeah, I see.
And because those are the only ones that are still that are still aired and stuff. Granted, they're like 50 episodes behind
Yeah.
what the current one is.
But who
It
cares
gets
when
released
you're
every week, but
gateway?
it's that's
Gateway.
the dubbed version. Like a lot of people watch that because they're dubbed and they don't wait for the subbed.
They don't wait for the sub.
I mean, well, they don't go ahead and watch
Yeah, I
where
get
the
what you mean.
subtitle or where the subbed episodes are now. They'd rather watch it through with the same voice actors that they've been with.
So what were your guys' gateways?
Naruto.
We just said we weren't talking about those.
No, but Naruto's what got me
What?
at the end
Okay,
of it.
good point.
I mean, again, like
I don't know.
Naruto would be mine just because I saw it again when I was a kid and stuff, and that really got me into the art, to the style, and like what anime is and everything. But other gateway ones, again,
I'm
when I
pretty-
re-picked up, it'd be SAO just because
Yeah.
that it was like one of the most commonly available ones because it was on Netflix and other things.
I'm pretty recent compared to you guys into the anime world. I only just started watching it probably early this year. I started my gateway that I consider my gateway anyway was not even an anime. It was Ruby.
Well, I mean,
It's an anime.
a lot
It's
of people,
not
a lot
because
of
it wasn't
people,
made in Japan.
A lot of people
So-
would accept it as one now. It's a different style to one, but a lot of people like it because it's so different and it has such a unique style and
Yeah. For those who
Wait.
don't know, Ruby is an American-made pseudo-anime
by Rooster Teeth.
by Rooster Teeth. So it's not a professional animation studio. It's not technically anime because it has to be made in Japan for that title. And it's also 3D animated, which probably turns a lot of people off.
It's definitely weird to get used to.
It's weird to get
I
used
almost
to.
didn't watch it because the art style was so different.
the first season is weird.
It's very rough.
Just because like what they do is they
Oh, yeah.
black out a lot of characters. Like they were really trying to focus on the main characters and stuff. So what they do,
Underfunded.
yeah,
and the-
they,
and
they didn't
they-
have the time to put in the
all
effort
the
of
animation
making
and
all the
stuff for
background
everyone.
characters.
So they would black out all characters that weren't
Shadow
important.
people.
Yeah, shadow people. But then as I think from the second season to fourth, where they just ended the fourth season this week, or this past week, then it's a super good one. Especially seeing as though the four main characters are four superly attractive girls. That's going to be what gets a lot of people in. Also, they're just very quirky and have all their own stuff, and you definitely get attached to characters.
Not
and stuff,
gonna
which is very good.
say any names, but I'm going to. One of the main characters in Ruby is Blake. Just saying.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's female
Kinda
though.
Putting that out.
Spoiler for Volume 1 of Ruby. cat girl.
Blake.
I mean,
Best character there.
they hint at it a lot, so it's not like
They have some sweet hints. I love there's a scene in the first volume where someone's falling from the sky and she hides her ears in her bow, right? Yeah, I know.
No spoilers.
No spoilers, but for those who know, I'm holding a statue of Pyrrha right now. That's a wonderful sound.
That is. Not
But anyway, she hides her ears in her bow, and in the first 3 episodes, someone's falling from the sky, and I noticed something, and her bow twitches.
It's so
it's so good.
You'll understand because they put it out so early on that it's not even entirely a spoiler, per se. But I mean, it would be.
I was making fun of you for
all right.
making ambient sound.
Let's try to list off at least
I was being very quiet about it.
Let's try to list off at least 3 other gateway anime.
We recommended Death Parade to someone recently. I think that's a very good one, and I started someone on that as well. I think it's good because it's a concept that you could see it being in a Western show.
Yeah.
And it's
not a new thing. People definitely can think about it because it kind of has that stage. There's some English word for it. It's when you're in between heaven, you're being decided if you're going to hell or heaven, whatever that.
I don't remember.
That word
it's
is. Purgatory. Or
Purgatory?
Something?
I think so.
That
was good.
So, it's that stage where you're being decided where you're going to heaven or hell. Death Parade is all about finding the inner motives of whoever died and deciding if they're a good or a bad person.
Yeah, basically, this is first episode stuff, so I'll explain it. Basically, when 2 people die at exactly the same moment, and they're connected to each other in some way, or close enough to each other, they will come down in an elevator into this bar, and the bartender basically tells them, shit, we kind of ruined it already in the first episode, but they're dead. We said that already.
Oh,
yeah,
dang it!
But
well, I mean, that's what purgatory is.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
had Dante's Inferno, people.
I mean, you figure it out.
You figured it out in the first episode.
It's not that bad of a spoiler.
And I'm pretty sure most people figure it out before.
Yeah, you're kind of
Yeah, they're
a little fishy here.
They're dead, so they
don't know it though.
They don't know it though. So the bartender's like, if you don't play these games, you will be killed. Or he kind of implies that.
Yeah.
He says your lives are at stake or something. Mm-hmm. And they basically play these really horrible games. The first one is they throw a dart at a board that has body parts on it, and when the body part gets hit by the dart, it correlates to the person's body and they're in pain. But the other person's body, there's 2 dart boards. So when one person throws the dart and hits the board, it hurts the other person. So the whole point is to get people to expose their true selves so they can judge them and move them on. But we're not going to talk about the actual focus of the show. That's just the first episode.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the basic idea.
But it's
really good.
Really
and
good.
It doesn't have many. It has some that are strange. In the first episode, there is some intense sweating that's pretty absurd looking. There's not that many anime tropes, so people who are new to it and can't really put that past a big thing for Americans watching animes, you have to look past the weird stuff and kind of ignore those small things that turn people off, because then you can start enjoying the show. And eventually you start actually enjoying the tropes.
I'm wait a minute, now I know why. It kind of adds
it adds a little bit more. It translates things to you that you don't get in a Western show.
It's overwhelming to new people.
Yeah, it feels very strange when you're starting. So definitely Death Parade.
Death Parade's a good one.
Something I think all of us could probably agree on is Akame ga Kill. I think
God.
that could be a very good entrance.
I don't know if that's a starter, because there's a girl who turns into a cat and has paws.
No, but I definitely think for people that are more looking for something like as an action starter and stuff, that could be very good. Like it has such a good storyline.
It has a lot of good emotion.
You get attached to characters.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. That's saying that is gonna ruin it.
It's just look
good.
into the
It's a
title.
very emotional ride.
Mm-hmm. But it's a very good one. I would suggest for starters, because then you can kind of branch off and see like what you didn't like about that anime or what you did like and look from there to find other things. I think that'd be a good gateway anime. It was a very highly rated one.
When we say Akamega kill, we don't mean kill a kill.
No.
Yeah, no.
Kill a kill
no.
and Akamega kill are two different things.
Kill the kill is probably the opposite of a gateway. that's probably the door out, the exit door.
I could not get past like the third episode or something.
The third episode? You made it 3 episodes into that
It's such
monstrosity?
a crazy art style. It's so etchy.
I just went pretty far in Kill a Kill because
Oh
I
my
wanted
God.
to know why.
You want to know why that was in
It was
existence?
It's pretty trash. It's
Alright.
cringy.
So what's another starter? Did you get one, Blake?
I haven't really given one yet, but let me look.
He's gonna think about that. Right now, we're gonna talk about why Kill la Kill is in the
Cancers.
an ejection seat.
Makes you want to kill yourself.
Oh, okay.
Completely overlooks.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It looked like you had a thought.
I mean, there's really not much to talk about with Kill la Kill. It's just bad. It's
It's
blatantly
just-
bad.
it's-
Art, plot.
the weird
meaning.
part is it's
lot
got
of
such
people
a
support
cult
it.
following with
It
it.
does. People might like it just because it is so crazy and stuff. But
Yeah, well, just like how Fairy Tale has a following when none of us can figure out why. It's not a bad show. It's just
Yeah.
not enough to keep me in it for 300 episodes.
I would almost say it procrastinates more than Bleach does.
Never seen Bleach. I wouldn't know.
I would say like you would know if you compare the two. I would say Bleach is a bit faster to get to the point and stuff, but
Ooh. Another anime for when you're done, like for a new starter one.
yeah, Bleach is good. The first
It's like 6 episodes, 8 episodes.
alright, so
What, the one you're talking
the
about?
very
For
beginning
Bleach.
of Bleach is really good. Then it kind of gets slow, picks up again. Then it moves on to another storyline. Then that is super slow, but you can get a lot of meaning and
So,
good
something
stuff
you
out of
need
it.
to avoid with a starter, I think, is something that slows down in the middle, because people need to hold
Yeah.
on to it
No,
for the
But
Bleach
entire
by
is-
ride.
middle, it's like 20 episodes later, so it's like almost an entire.
There's a problem.
anime as
I
well.
don't. If I'm a non-weeb, and so
No,
Yeah.
but in American culture, like you sit here through Game of Thrones, for instance. Each
that's
episode,
only 60 episodes.
Each episode's an hour long.
I know.
These
All
are
these
like
episodes?
25-minute episodes.
So you take Bleach.
That's less than 3 days.
Bleach, for
60
instance. Okay, so Bleach has a lot of episodes. It has 366 episodes. So that's
I'm
30.
I'm only just halfway through. If
It's
yeah,
absurd.
no,
But,
no, just under halfway.
366 also includes like this other, one of the like end parts of this anime is there's 2 things I don't like about Bleach. In the ending, they kind of created or continued the anime after one of my favorite endings.
Oh,
They
they
continued
wrapped it up and then they were just like,
They're like,
Let's keep going."
making more money.
I don't like it when that happens.
That happened with Bleach, and I hate it. I hate that. I tried to watch it, I couldn't get into it. So I don't know at what episode that they started doing that, but at some point they did, and I don't like it at all. They had a great ending. It was emotion-filled, upsetting, but fulfilling.
Yeah.
And it did not need to be continued, and they did.
Something similar to that was Wolf's Reign, where they didn't really end it all that well. It was kind of the opposite thing, where they kind of just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
It was like they definitely like knew they were ending, but nothing there was no fulfillment. Nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
So they released like 6 OVAs to wrap it up because there was such like an outcry about how like they went through this entire adventure and you like connected to these characters, and in the end they were just like, eh.
We'll finish eventually. Yeah.
No, like they weren't going to finish. They were like episode 26 is just like the flattest ending you will ever see, and then they just stopped, and there was such an outcry that they had to go back and do 6 episodes to wrap it up.
It's crazy, but
But I really love that show. Wolf's Rain is it's a supreme.
it's supreme.
Supreme.
All right.
Once you watch the 6 OVAs, it's supreme.
Yeah. So with like the second thing I don't like about Bleach is it starts off slow.
Oh yeah.
The first like 6 episodes are
Then that really would not be a.
it
deal.
was one of my first ones because it's like
Yeah,
it's
but-
not so bad or it's off-putting. It just feels like
you have
the
to try to
plot
be
hasn't-
faithful to it.
The plot hasn't started, so you're like, okay, it's like, I guess I'm gonna watch another one. It wasn't bad. The content of the episode was good. It's just the plot's not there yet. You're kind of just getting to know the main character, and there isn't like anything to it. You're just getting to know him and his new abilities that he earns like the first episode.
I got something here. What would be a good gateway for people who are somewhat against the idea of anime? Like they have a bias against it already, like Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I would say,
We just said Lee. No one knows who Lee is.
Yeah,
like
but
one
we
of our
do.
friends.
Yeah.
I'd say either Death Note.
Death Note.
In my opinion, I would say either Death Note or, for me, Golden Time.
Golden Time.
Time, probably not.
Probably not unless
I
they
would-
like that style.
If
They want, that's kind of like a romance, right?
Yeah.
I would almost go with like something like Drifters.
But it's something easy to get into.
Possibly Drifters. Yeah, Drifters
it
probably.
has world history.
It has a little bit of comedy in it.
It's funny. Basic military strategy.
It doesn't really slow down at any point.
It's continuously
It's definitely a roller coaster
fire.
ride.
Like it's amazing.
Guys, but you're all forgetting about Digimon Adventure Try.
Oh boy, what about the Pokemans?
Digimon, digital
Monsters
monsters.
Copyright.
Champions. Hey, there's no background music to it. It's just the words.
It's a cover.
It's a cover.
Oh my goodness.
Do-do-do-do,
But,
do-do-do-do-do.
I was going
the
back to
technical
like
term?
further away, like
Shingeki no Kyojin.
anime that are like going way back in time from what we're talking about. We're talking about how it's so long where it's not a good gateway. And I said Game of Thrones, for instance. Yeah, it's got like 60
good anime.
episodes. They're all an hour long.
60 hours.
Yeah, that's 60 hours. You take Bleach, get rid of that last season, so it's like 200 something, episode 200 something. You divide that by 2 because that's 30 minutes. So if you want an hour long episode in each, you now have 100 episodes.
There's a huge difference here though, because a show like Game of Thrones that people as soon as they're turned on to it, most people are like off to the races with it, and they will not stop.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
with a lot of anime, you kind of got to take a break, and you kind of like there are points where you will drop or put on hold a show.
I don't do that with the longer ones because like
I don't.
Once you start getting into the longer ones, if you start watching episode after episode after episode, you try not to stop because then you'll stop for a while.
you feel
So
like
you try to get through as much as you can, because then at that point, once you start getting the ball rolling, the story progresses so much and you hate to just stop it. So that's why a lot of people try to binge through really long episodes, because then they can get a lot more out of what they're trying to watch instead of watching an episode here a day, maybe a couple days later watch an episode there, because then you're never going to finish it. You need to watch like 20 episodes in a day, or like you need to watch it a lot to be able to get the full effect of the actual anime in those much longer ones.
Yeah, I don't really watch any of the long ones. I do this weird thing that I really shouldn't because it makes me drop shows. Is that I'll start like 3 at a time because when I slow down on one and I get like, nah, I don't want to watch this anymore, I want to skip to the other instead of just not watching it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do that.
So I had like Evangelion going, and I like
Evangelion's a very interesting one to get through.
Yeah, I was trying to go
That
through
one-
it. I was like 4 episodes in. I'm like, I'm kind of
Evangelion is an anime where you have to research what it is and understand the plot before you watch it, because then it becomes
What
very
did you just
hard.
say?
You know,
you have to
no,
understand the
it's-
plot before you watch it.
Evangelion is one of those weird special circumstance animes where it's more beneficial to read about what it is and look at what the timeline is throughout the anime before you go in, because you don't get as much information as you could from reading outside sources first, and then when you go in and watch it, you understand more, and that's what I did, and I enjoyed it a lot more because I understood what was going on throughout the timeline and stuff, and it's because they have a couple weird jumps throughout.
Do you know what you just did? You just made me not want to watch that even more.
Well, that's
you
your
have
fault.
to understand the plot before you watch it. What does that even mean?
Well, you should look up information about the plot before you go and watch it. The watching 1.11 isn't bad, but 2.22 and 3.33 aren't.
Dude, I'm not.
terrible.
I'm on the like original series. I don't know. Any of the stuff.
1.11
There's some
is
robots
literally just
fighting
first
monsters. I don't know what's going on. There's a kid
it's-
in a
it's-
bunch of liquids.
Little bit. Was it Shinji? Is it Shinji little bitch or something like that?
What?
Shinji you bitch.
I mean, that's his name, except for the bitch.
No,
part.
that's like the meme thing. Like, it's like Shinji little bitch or something like that. That's literally like the thing that they think he gets called in the first series. Or get into the fucking robot, Shinji. I think that's what it is.
You know, good starter anime? High School DxD.
School days.
You're not. I know you're joking. You're not completely wrong. That might be a good starter for some people. I would recommend that to Ryan.
High School of the Undead.
I tried to watch that. I didn't like it.
If
High School
if
DxD.
if you like
let's,
Bouncy Bounce, then that's a good one for you to get started into.
Are you saying you like? Are you saying High School DxD doesn't have that?
I don't know.
I think I'd argue it's probably number one. Oh boy!
You're in for a ride.
Man, you are in for
it. The plot's not even bad.
It's not.
It's just like
It's-
the way the show carries itself.
It's so absurd. It's so absurd.
Alright.
It's like it's strangely similar, but not as insane as Trinity 7. Or I mean, Trinity 7 is strangely similar to High School DxD.
I like Trinity 7.
I think it's good too. It's not as absurd though.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, well,
We want to do a closing argument. We're approaching the hour.
I mean, we went over things that we like. New starter ones, so like Drifters, Death Note. For those of you special guys out there, High School DxD.
also Akame ga Kill.
Akame
Kill
Kills.
is pretty
was a good
good. And then for those of you who like don't mind the grind of longer animes and really like the enriching full, like really getting into a plot.
You want a long-term experience.
Yeah, there's Naruto, Bleach,
Oh
Gintama, Fairy Tail,
They dubbed like the third season of Gintama.
One Piece. There is
One Piece is a...
Hitman Reborn.
What is Hitman Reborn?
It's
I've
not
heard of it.
good.
Why are you suggesting it then?
Some people like it. Like it has a good, strong fan base. Some people like it. It's more of a Western style. Like it's something that Western style people would like more. I do not like, and I do not personally like Hitman Reborn. Granted, I did get through like 20 episodes. It was like enough to get me through it, but it just didn't. There wasn't like enough of a plot. It just felt too out there. So I also don't like Gintama and Fairy Tail. There isn't like a real backbone plot comparative to Naruto and One Piece. That kind of all strings together. Every arc strings together to some point, and they build off. Gintama, Reborn, Fairy Tail is just.
I see a lot of
sporadic.
clips. I see a lot of clips from Gintama that's like really hilarious.
Yeah, Gintama's like the Friends of anime.
The Friends of Anime.
I'm not kidding. It's so sporadic and out there, and they make fun of other animes. There's an episode where they make fun of Dragon Ball Z. It's crazy.
So on the similar level to One Punch Man.
It's almost like
where
One
it's a
Punch
parody.
Man humor. It's like Gintama like parodies itself. Like,
It parodies itself.
I'm not even kidding. It's insane.
All I know about it is there's something about the dude wanting milk and he's bald.
Yeah. I don't know. Gintama's interesting, but for those of you who want the longer ones, depending on what you are want to go into, there's the ones we mentioned previously. Our starter ones we mentioned.
Yeah. I personally, myself, I don't like the long grinds.
Yeah.
I just like there's just so much out there that I want to watch. My list is getting longer by the day.
Yeah.
I'm definitely adding more than I'm removing at this point.
You never remove anything from your list, even if you don't like an anime.
No, I remove it, like I move it to my watch list.
Right. Like I'm saying, you said remove, but
Yeah.
if you're creating a list, don't actually physically remove anything.
Yeah, you want
to reference.
Also, when you're starting anime, start the list early.
Yeah.
Because I am still finding things that I forgot to put on there. It's
Yeah.
like, have I watched this? And like I'll turn on things and I'm like,
Yes.
I don't remember this at all. And then suddenly I remember I saw a fox girl that was possessing a kid that suddenly turned rainbow colored.
What?
That turned him out.
It was pretty good.
Yeah. So
Then I learned that when it's raining while it's sunny, it's called a fox's daydream. That's what I learned. That's what I took from that show.
Okay. So for this episode's kind of like really centered around new people and just getting the idea of anime out there.
An introduction.
And
So,
us getting used to just starting a podcast and stuff. So it's not we'll clean up how the podcasts go and stuff in further recordings and such. So this is more
As
just
we get feedback, it will be affected potentially,
So-
unless we don't want to do that.
people requests or anything. It'll probably be easier for us to start getting ideas and focusing episodes around and cutting them a lot shorter, sensing that this is already
That doesn't need to be
pretty
shorter. This is a good.
it's fine.
This is a good length for a podcast.
So yeah, I think definitely look back on the names we said. What you personally are looking for a long grind. If you're looking for the specifics, like Ian, he has his artistic, music-filled, motion-filled animes. I have my psychological, brain teaser animes.
I have whatever I have.
He's kind of going around in the fantasy general land. Doesn't have to be completely
Must be dubbed.
fantasy like SAO. It can be like an academy. He's really I know you are particularly like into academy type animes as well.
That's pretty
Then you're
good.
probably gonna get into Assassination High or Assassination Classroom.
Oh no, I didn't like that show.
Didn't like it.
But
that was weird.
definitely go back into the names or different style you like from this podcast and watch a few of them. Go into a few episodes. They're good.
All right, so we're gonna have a book club for between episodes here. So the goal. What does that look for? The goal is
It costs money, my dude.
what?
A book club? You gotta buy the book.
An anime book club, not a real book club. What's
More-
wrong with
more
you?
as watching just stuff in between.
Yeah, the plan.
Why are we calling it a book club for nothing?
Because that's what it is. That's not a weird thing to call it, right, Ian?
I mean, we're
That's
calling
a
we're calling this Owari no podcast.
Owari no book club. Book club of the end. Anyway, the between episodes, the show that we're going to watch. Spoiler, I've watched it already, but I know you guys haven't watched it, and it's the Asterisk War. So, you guys watch that. The audience is welcome to watch it too, and we're going to have an in-depth discussion of that next episode.
Whenever that'll be.
Whenever that'll be. Next year. So, fair warning, there will be spoilers. And I like it as a good show. It's an Academy show. So, apparently you guys know me better than I do. Alright.
Alright.
That it?
Anybody want to create a specialized outro
Specialized outro.
for each person?
Quick, musical outro, go. Copyright podcast.
Okay, Mr. Attack on Titan.
Alright. Subscribe. See y'all.